Hey guys! So I've been very curious about what Jupiter's cloud tops would look like up close, and this amazing scientist, Gerald Eichstädt, along with a whole bunch of other people at Caltech and so on, they created a 3D representation of the topography of Jupiter, which is just insane. I mean, look at how far up and deep down those clouds go. Like, it's crazy. Being there would just be sick. So I thought, what about using artificial intelligence to help visualize what would this look like up close, like in a photorealistic setting. So what I thought I'd try is maybe I could upload the depth map into something like Qwen, because I know Qwen can use ControlNet. For those of you who are not versed in this, ControlNet lets you upload like depth maps, doodles and drawings and whatever. And in here I can also upload other pictures as well, so I can take a close-up image of Jupiter like this one, taken by the Juno space probe. This is a real-life image of Jupiter, very close. You can like identify cloud layers here, which I mean makes sense given this depth map of how high up and far down they go, that they would look like this. Anyway, so I could use this as like the reference for the colors. So I can say I want to make a photorealistic, scientifically accurate representation of Jupiter's upper cloud layers, and what it would look like to peer into the horizon from the top of Jupiter's clouds. Image 1 shows a depth map of Jupiter's clouds made by mathematician, I think he's a mathematician, Dr. Image 2 shows one of the closest images taken by the Juno space probe. So the clouds should have the colors of picture 2, but the topography of picture 1. And I used Microsoft Copilot as well. I used the deep research function to have it find a lot of info. I was originally thinking of doing this with SDXL, which is Stable Diffusion, an older version. The reason why is because it has ControlNet. ControlNet lets you upload like depth map images. But I tried it and it didn't work. I guess my GPU is not good enough or something. It just generated images of Jupiter like from far away, and kind of like interpreted this image of the depth map as just peering into the horizon, so to say, like you would have a normal planet, essentially. And it didn't understand like this is supposed to look like cloud tops. It didn't get that. And I guess it's because I only have 12 gigs of VRAM on this GPU and limited resources here at home. So we'll see if this thing can help us out. Anyway, what I thought is, since it has done a lot of research, what should the horizon look like from the perspective of this? I don't know, man. Guessing we don't have blue skies like here on Earth. Now this is very speculative, and I think the only way to actually know what Jupiter's horizon would look like from amidst the cloud tops would either be if you're some genius scientist or if you had some actual images of it. I'm neither, so I'm using AI, and it's most likely going to be wrong, but I don't care for the sake of just trying this. Give me a short prompt for the horizon / blue skies. Okay, so this is gonna be fun. I don't think it's gonna work, but we're gonna try. So this is trying Qwen. I think we should also try Google Gemini, because it is extremely good at generating images. However, I do get a watermark, so that kind of sucks, but let's see what it can do. So both of these are very powerful models, Qwen and Gemini. And here we have Nano Banana Pro, which is like the best. Wow! This shit, man, that looks so fucking sick. But I don't really see the topography here. Awesome. You know what? We'll try again. We'll just click regenerate and see what happens. Wow! Oh my god! Oh my freaking god, man! Love it. But the spiky clouds probably are wrong. That image was made with math. Could you maybe straighten them out and have them look more cloud-like? Yeah, the bad side is like you get this watermark. I don't know why Google does that. I mean, it's so easy to remove that watermark. I don't understand why they do it. But, I mean, sure. That's Google. Like, I even need it anyway. I'm being totally honest about using Google here. So, whatever. Oh my god, that looks so amazing. That is so impressive. So, Gemini Pro pulled it off like immediately. That is just so insane. Because the thing about this image is we're using like science here. We have an actual depth map of Jupiter itself. This is the depth of Jupiter's clouds. It's not like made up. This is how it actually is. And we're using one of the closest images ever taken of Jupiter to generate this with AI. I mean, sure, it looks a little bit wonky, but could you make it even more realistic? Maybe have me closer to the clouds. So I haven't tried Copilot yet, though. Yeah, it's too much for Qwen. Qwen gets certain elements right every time, so it gets like this is what the colors are supposed to be. This time it understood the horizon a lot better, so it doesn't do a bad job. Here it was more like, okay, this is what Jupiter should look like. It doesn't really do a bad job, but it doesn't really do a good job neither. or it doesn't really do a great job. So it doesn't understand to use ControlNet here, for example. Maybe it's because there's too much going on. I mean, Nano Banana just nails it. It doesn't really understand how to straighten out the clouds though. So it relies very heavily on the depth map I provided it. And this thing is just math, like those spikes don't really belong. It's supposed to look like clouds. Straighten out the spikes. Remember, these are clouds. I mean, props to Google for giving us all of this stuff for free. Like, I can generate however many images I want with Nano Banana. Sure, I do hate the fact that they give me that watermark, cause it really ruins it for me if I want to animate stuff. But still, I mean, I'm generating images fast, and I can make however many I want. These are really fascinating because, yeah, there we've reached the limit. I see. So I can't generate all the images I want, but almost. And now they let normal people, so to say, generate videos as well. Hey, there, Qwen did it. And now we have something that actually looks like Jupiter. So here you see it can do it. It used the depth map provided here. And it used the information about the horizon, ammonia clouds, hazy ochre sky. So this is the no blue tones. Oh yeah, soft light. This is the whole problem here. So we'll do this. We'll edit that image that it just gave me. Photorealistic depiction. And we'll go straight down here to this. Jupiter's horizon, hazy ochre clouds, soft sunlight, banded, so it doesn't put in those things about the blue ochre and all of that. This is far from the sun, so it should in theory be kinda dark. Actually, the funny thing here is, okay, so we have those spiky clouds, right? And that doesn't really make sense. But it looks more realistic than what Nano Banana put out. So Nano Banana did not look realistic in the same way. Yeah, now it's starting to look more realistic. But the problem here again is the topography of the clouds. Now it took too many liberties. So what if we combine these prompts? If I take this and I include the stuff about image 1 and image 2. Okay, here we go. Image 1 has spiky clouds because it is a 3D representation, but the real clouds are not spiky. Please smoothen them out in the final output. Okay, so now we'll do the same thing again, and we'll try these two images. Okay, so now it says I want to make a photorealistic, scientifically accurate representation of Jupiter's upper cloud layers and what it would look like to peer into the horizon from the top of Jupiter's clouds. Image 1 shows a depth map of Jupiter clouds made by mathematician Dr. Gerald Eichstädt. image 2 shows one of the closest images taken by the Juno space images taken of Jupiter by the Juno space probe. So the clouds should have the colors of picture 2 but the topography of picture 1. Jupiter's horizon from the upper atmosphere with swirling ammonia clouds fading into a hazy ochre sky, soft sunlight scattering through thick gas layers, banded cloud structures stretching laterally, vast and turbulent. This is far from the sun, so it should in theory be kinda dark. Image 1 has spiky clouds because it's a 3D representation, but the real clouds are not spiky. Please smoothen them out in the final output. Let's see what it puts out now. So it most certainly can do ControlNet, as you see. Here it took the literal depth map, like the exact depth map, and put it in. Yeah, and okay, so it gets this one, that one it understands. It struggles with the depth map, so here we just keep generating. Yeah, and now it just plopped in the depth map. We'll keep generating. Guess this is one of the better ones, because this one captures kind of how far up the cloud goes and how deep down they go as well. So this one is kind of the best one, I think, but it deviates too much from the actual topography of the clouds, while this one is the exact same topography, but it gets those spikes, and of course, I mean, clouds aren't spiky, so yeah, this is too hard for Qwen. But I do think like Qwen did the best job, even though like Nano Banana by Google, it immediately just plopped everything together. So, but you see, like, it doesn't look realistic at all. Like, this is not how Jupiter's clouds look. Everyone gets that when they see it. For a whole bunch of reasons, like the horizon here. Why is that totally flat while all of this is going on? And this thing down here doesn't really belong, right? So you see that it kind of forces things on top of each other. It tries to make it work with the limited information it has, while Qwen, it actually created images that look like Jupiter. That's the difference. Like, this looks like a gas giant, to me at least. So smooth the clouds so they don't look spiky. Excuse me. USB keyboard here. But I feel like Qwen has a better understanding that we're supposed to envision a gas giant, while Gemini, it just plops stuff together. So Gemini 100% follows my prompt. It 100% uses the depth map I gave it, and everything like comes together perfectly in here, but it doesn't actually look like a gas giant, while Qwen actually makes it look like a gas giant. So here you see it keeps the same topography, pretty much the exact same topography. It only just straightens out the clouds essentially, which is exactly what I meant that it should do. So let's let's see what it does if I and this one, this one is the best, if you ask me. Even though it doesn't really perfectly capture that same topography of the clouds, it looks the most realistic. We have a hazy atmosphere. We're far away from the sun, so it's very dark. And this one would be the best representation of actual clouds that follow that same depth map. And now we can say make the atmosphere a bit darker, and yeah, because I mean we need to make a point of the fact that we're quite some distance away from the sun here. We're not really. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so make the clouds seem more impacted by swirling winds. Fast swirling winds. So even though Gemini like pulled it off immediately, it just smacked them together like it was the easiest thing ever. That same thing became its fault to a certain degree. Like it seemed just smacked together, like these two images were just combined. While Qwen, it did more work with actually combining the things. So here, this is based off of the actual depth map itself. Like here we see the depth map made by the mathematician Gerald Eichstädt. It is the same depth map images that he made with math. We've straightened them out a bit without losing what they actually look like, and tried to imagine like being that far away from the sun as well. And here it kind of gets messed up again. But I mean, if I'm to imagine what Jupiter would look like up close, I think like the clouds would have more movement than they seemingly do here. What about making a video for this? Jupiter's upper cloud layers. It would most certainly not look this smooth, though. But I mean, a fun little experiment nonetheless. So, visualizing Jupiter's cloud tops up close with the best scientifically accurate information I could find with the help of AI, we get something that kinda looks like this. Again, I think Qwen did the overall best job. It took the longest using Qwen, but overall the best. I think like the best image would be a combination of the two. The problem here is it's so alien that it doesn't really make sense for any AI trying to visualize what Jupiter's clouds actually would look like. So in reality it should probably have the same depth map, but they should be more swirling, so they should not have those spikes. They should be like moving into each other, swirling winds. And it's just too alien to actually imagine. I mean, the closest thing would be what we just did with that representation. And this most certainly is not scientifically accurate at all. Curious to see what the video looks like. Yeah, it really struggles. But I mean, a fun little task. I think something in the realm of this should be more accurate in terms of like moving clouds, but they should move in a pattern that looks like the depth map. So they should be swirling into each other, not those spikes, of course. Maybe something that looks more like this. This seems more accurate in a way. Seems much more accurate. Let's try that one. Jupiter's flying through Jupiter's upper cloud deck. again, I can't imagine that the actual clouds at that altitude would look this soft and fluffy, Earth-like. I guess it would be much grander, like there would be much more happening in terms of them climbing far up and delving far down, and much more movement in them. But I guess the atmosphere here looks the best. Like, the best thing to do would be to probably combine these images. A smoother version of this thing, which is not so spiky, but where I mean, what Gemini gets right is like those swirling winds. Like, that's something it gets right. I think the hazy atmosphere is probably correct. That just seems logical to me. Well, Qwen has a pretty decent understanding of like what the physics should kind of be like. But I don't know, imagining something like this with the help of AI is kind of, we don't really know what it should look like. Maybe this one could actually work. So if anyone from Google is watching this is the whole problem with your watermark. If I want to do something like this, to like snip it in and work on this section of the image, then I remove your watermark, which can get me into legal trouble. So that's the whole problem. I don't get why they do that shit, but okay. I mean, the model itself is amazing, so this looks more like accurate. Still, we have those spikes and they don't belong, but it looks much more accurate, to me at least. I am no expert at this, but something kind of in this realm should be accurate. Yeah, so that was me trying to visualize what Jupiter's upper cloud layers might look like. Fun little project. Have a good day, folks.